Hello boys and girls, welcome to another new week of studying from home. For today's English lesson, we will learn about grammar and vocabulary. For this lesson, you will need your full blast textbook page 69, 70, 71 and 163. Let's move to page 163 for the grammar reference section. For today, you will learn about past perfect simple and past perfect continuous. These notes, you can find it on page 163 from your full blast textbook. Alright, now let's take a look at past perfect simple. So, past perfect simple is an action completed before a specific time in the past. So, the keyword here is before a specific time in the past. So the example, they had dinner by 8 o'clock. So the specific time is 8 o'clock. And the action that was completed before 8 o'clock was dinner. Next, past perfect simple shows the action which is completed before another action in the past. And the keywords are before another action in the past. Now here is a short formula I have done for you to understand past perfect simple better. In a sentence, you will have two actions, which is action that happened first. So this is the past perfect simple. And the action that happened later, and this is past simple. Here I have coded them with two different colors, green for past perfect simple and blue for past simple. Now let's take a look at the example below. John had done all his shopping by the time we met. So what did John did first? What was his action first? Shopping. Yes, shopping is his first action and his second action is met. He met them. So that is his second action. So the past perfect simple is shopping because that was what he did first. And the past simple is met because after he went shopping, he met his friends. Now let's move on to past perfect continuous. Past perfect continuous is an action in progress up to a specific moment or another action in the past. Now the keyword here is an action that is ongoing, in progress. When? During a specific moment or another action in the past. For example, we had been waiting for hours when the bus finally arrived. So now the past perfect continuous here is been waiting. Now let me give you one tip where you can further understand continuous. Continuous, usually the word will have ing. But because it is past, so the word before that is past tense. So been waiting. Alright?
Next, past perfect continuous is an action where the results of which were obvious later on in the past.
For example, Kelly was exhausted yesterday because she had been studying all afternoon. Now the action in this sentence is Kelly had been studying. What is the result of her after studying? She was exhausted. Yes. Now let's move on to your grammar exercise on page 69, muka surat 69. Please do this in your grammar book. When you open page 69, you will see this grammar exercise in your textbook. Let's look at the box. They allowed the tracker to enter the village after he had spoken to the chief. Now can you guess what is the word here? Had spoken. Now this word had spoken, what does it refer to? Past perfect simple or past perfect continuous? Yes, it refers to past perfect simple because had spoken is past tense. Now the second sentence, by the time the bus arrived, we had been waiting for 50 minutes. Remember what I told you earlier? For past perfect continuous, you add ing behind, and therefore the second sentence is a past perfect continuous sentence. Now let's take a look at the exercise. Complete the sentences with the past simple, the past perfect simple, or the past perfect continuous of the verbs in brackets. Now the first sentence, Roger arrived late at the train station. Can you guess what do you use in the blank here? Yes, you use past simple, where you write D behind. D for arrived, which is the past tense of arrive, the past simple. Moving on, by the time he, the platform, the train. Try to guess what do you write in the two blanks here. Yes, you use the word reached and had left. Now reach is the past simple of reach and had left is the past perfect simple of leave. Let's take a look at the second sentence. Alison on the phone with her sister for 3 hours by the time she. Try to guess what can you write in the two blanks here. You use the word had been talking because it is a past perfect continuous, and the word hung for the past simple of hang. Hung and hang. Hung and hang. Next, she to her for a long time and she lots of news to tell her. Try to guess the suitable words for these two blanks. Yes, you can use hadn't spoken and had. Hadn't spoken is the past perfect simple of not speak. Have not, so you use had not, and you shorten had not into hadn't spoken. And the word have, the past simple of have is had. Alright, so this is past simple, had, and this is present simple, have. Third sentence, by the time the sun down, we tennis for 4 hours. Try to guess the words used in this sentence. Yes, for the word go, you use past simple, which is went. And the word play, you use past perfect continuous, which is had been playing. And the last one, we exhausted. What do you think the word is here? Yes, the answer is were because it already happens. Now, let's move on to the next grammar exercise. For this exercise, let's first refer to the grammar reference on page 163. This grammar is about direct speech or statements and reported speech or statements. For direct speech, it is where you repeat the exact words that someone said. And the keywords here are repeat and exact words. So the verb to use here is say. And here is a simple formula I have created for you to better understand how to use direct speech. For example, subject plus verb, the verb here is say, plus speech or statement said by someone. Let's take a look at this example. Matthew said, Tina is on the phone. The subject here will be Matthew. And the verb, said, and the speech or statement is Tina is on the phone. Let's move on to reported speech. Now, reported speech means to report the meaning of what someone said in your own words. And the keyword here is report the meaning of someone using your own words. Again, the verb to use here is say or tell. And the formula will be subject plus verb plus that plus speech or statement. For example, Matthew said that Tina was on the phone. The subject here is Matthew. The verb is said, that, and the speech or statement will be Tina was on the phone. Now let's move to the exercise on page 71. First of all, let's read the example written on the top of the exercise. Now, for reported speech, remember what I told you? Subject plus verb plus speech or statement. And the verb here will be said. Whereas, reported speech uses subject, verb, that, speech or statement. And the verb here will be said or told. For example, I'm going to go mountain climbing tomorrow. John said to Oliver. So the subject here is John. The verb is said. The speech or statement is I'm going to go mountain climbing tomorrow. The next example, I must book the tickets, Jenny said. The subject is Jenny. The verb is said. And the speech or statement is I must book the tickets. The next example, a new travel agency opened in the high street last week. Ellen said to me. So the subject is Ellen, the verb is said, and the speech or statement is a new travel agency opened in the high street last week. Let's move on to reported speech. The examples are John told Oliver that he was going to go mountain climbing the next day. So the subject is John, the verb is told that, the speech or statement is he was going to go mountain climbing the next day. Can you see there are differences between direct speech and reported speech? For direct speech, you use exactly what the person says. So you write, I'm going to go mountain climbing. Whereas for reported speech, you use your own words, which is he was going to go mountain climbing the next day. The next example, Jenny said that she had to book the tickets. The subject will be Jenny, the verb will be said, that, and the statement or speech will be she had to book the tickets. Again, there is a very huge difference between reported speech and direct speech because in direct speech, you write exactly what Jenny said, where you use the word I. Whereas in reported, you do not use the word I, instead you use the word she. The next example, Ellen told me that a new travel agency had opened in the high street that previous week. The subject will be Ellen, the verb will be told, that, the speech or statement will be a new travel agency had opened in the high street that previous week. So again, the differences between a direct speech and a reported speech will be how you construct the sentence. In direct speech, you write exactly what the person has said. You quote what the person has said. Whereas in reported speech, you write what the person said using your own words. Now let's try the grammar exercise on page 71. Please do this in your grammar book. Don't forget to write the date and the topic for today. Now the question is, rewrite the sentences using reported speech. Remember reported speech, guys? Subject plus verb plus that plus speech or statement. And the verb here will be said or told. Now let's move to the first question. We will reach our destination tomorrow at 5 a.m. The tour guide said to us. Now this is a direct speech. Now let's change this direct speech to a reported speech. Can anyone tell us how do we change that? You may write, the tour guide told us that we would reach our destination the next day at 5 a.m. Okay? As you can see here, we are writing the exact same meaning just in different ways. Moving to sentence number 2. My sister has bought all the necessary camping gear, Kat said. Again, this is a direct speech. Now let's change this to a reported speech. Can anyone guess how would the sentence sound like? So the reported speech will be, Kat said that her sister has bought all the necessary camping gear. Again, as you can see, there are different ways of writing your reported speech. And this is one example. Let's move to sentence number 3. I can't go hiking with you because I hurt my ankle yesterday, Ryan said to Fiona. This is the direct speech. Now what is the reported speech? Yes, Ryan told Fiona that he couldn't go hiking with her because he had hurt his ankle the day before. Sentence number 4. My dad's going on a business trip to Paris next weekend, Harry said. Try to change this direct speech into a reported speech. The reported speech will be, Harry said that his dad was going on a business trip to Paris the next weekend. Sentence number 5. I may become a receptionist in the future, Karen said. Try to make this sentence into a reported speech. And the reported speech will be, Karen said that she might become a receptionist in the future. Alright, now we are done for our grammar exercise. Let's move on to vocabulary. For vocabulary, please refer to page 70. First of all, what is suffix? Remember earlier of the year, I taught you all what suffixes are. So these suffixes are the same, which is a morpheme added at the end of a word. For example, photograph, the suffix you use is er. So the new word will be photographer. So photograph and photographer. The next word is video. The suffix is also er. So the new word will be videographer. Now, can anyone guess what are the differences between the new words and the previous words? Yes, the new word refers to the person who does the job, orang yang membuat kerja tersebut, whereas the previous word refers to the job a person does, kerja yang seseorang buat. For example, photographer. The job he does is to take photographs. And videographer, the job he does is to take video. Now the next word, counsel. When you add OR, it will be counselor. Now counselor is the person, whereas counsel is what he does. The next word is investigate. When you add OR, it will be investigator. Investigator is a person, and investigate is the job that he does. The next word, reception. When you add IST, it will be receptionist. Receptionist refers to a person, whereas reception refers to what the person does. And the last word is nutrition. When you add IST, the new word will be nutritionist. Nutritionist refers to a person, whereas nutrition refers to what the person is doing. Let's move to your vocabulary exercises on page 71. Please do this in your grammar book. Now let's read the question. Complete the table with the nouns that refer to people. Use the words in the box and a suitable suffix. Make any necessary changes. Here there are 3 examples given to you. The first word is travel, and the appropriate suffix will be ER for traveler. The second word will be visit. The appropriate suffix will be OR, which means visitor. And the third word will be reception, and the suffix will be IST, which is receptionist. Now, the next word will be inspect. Can anyone guess which suffix suits the word inspect? Yes, the suffix suitable for the word inspect is OR, so it will be inspector. The next word will be art. The suffix suitable for art is IST, which means artist. Now, the next word is hike. Yes, the suitable suffix for hike is ER, which means hiker. The next word is hunt. The suffix for hunt is ER, hunter. The next word is science. The suffix for science is IST, which means scientist. The next word is collect. Yes, the suitable suffix for collect is OR, which means collector. The next word is track. Good job! The suffix for track is ER, tracker. The next word is survive. The suffix for survive is OR, survivor. The next word is cycle. Yes, the appropriate suffix for cycle is IST for cyclist. The next word is explore. Good job! The suitable suffix for explore is ER, where you write explorer. The next word is instruct. Yes, the suffix is OR, which means instructor. The next word is report. The suitable suffix for report is ER, which is reporter. The next word is hairstyle. What do you think the suffix is for hairstyle? Yes, IST, which means hairstylist. The next word is compete. Yes, you use the suffix OR, so competitor. And the last word is biology. Yes, of course, for biology, you use the suffix IST, which means biologist. Good job, everyone. Let's move to the next section. B. Complete the sentence with the correct form of the words in the boxes. For question 1 to 6, you have 6 words, which are trip, trip, voyage, voyage, tour, tour, cruise, cruise, journey, journey, and flight, flight. Let's read the first question. From London to Glasgow by car takes about 7 hours. Try to guess the word suitable for sentence number 1. Yes, you may use the word journey or trip. So the sentence will be, the journey from London to Glasgow by car takes about 7 hours. Or, the trip from London to Glasgow by car takes about 7 hours. Sentence number 2. Last Sunday, Eddie and I went on to Lake Gloria. What do you think the word is for question 2? Yes, the word is trip. Number 3. We had to wait for 2 hours at the airport because our to Jakarta was delayed. Looking at the sentence, the word airport, what do you think the word suits for question 3? You got it right. The word you use here is flight. Question number 4. When Diane and her friends arrived in Madrid, they went on of the city. Try to guess the word here. Correct. The word is tour. Question number 5. Captain James Cook made 3 important to the Pacific Ocean. What do you think the word is? Now the clue for this is captain and Pacific Ocean. Can you guess the word now? Great job! The word is voyages because he made 3 important voyages. You plus S for plural and you deduct S for singular. Number 6. Last summer, my parents went on around the Mediterranean. Can you guess the word here? Cruise. Good job. Now, for question 7 and 8, there are 2 words which are expedition and excursion. For question 7, next week my school is going on an all-day to the beach. What do you think the word is? Yes, it's excursion. Number 8, a team of scientists are planning to go on an expedition to the South Pole. Alright, let's move on to question 9 and 10. The words are set off and set up. Number 9. My mom wants to a charity for the homeless in our town. Which word suits number 9 better? Yes, set up. And number 10, we had to early in the morning because we had to walk all day. So the word here is set off, which means go off. Alright, and the word set up means to build up, to make a charity. Alright, for question 11 to 14, you have 4 words, which are guide, guide, boss, boss, chief, chief, leader, leader. For number 11, the police explained what had happened at the bank on the news. What do you think the word is? Yes, you are right, the police chief. Number 12, I asked Mai for a week off and he said yes. Now the clue here is, who do you ask when you want to get off? Great job! You ask your boss. Number 13. We're going to need to take us to the village in the middle of the jungle. Now who do you need to go with in the middle of the jungle if you do not know the jungle very well? Yes, the word is guide. So, we're going to need a guide to take us to the village in the middle of the jungle. And question 14, the camp told us to put up the tents as quickly as possible. And of course, the last word will be leader. Let's move on to question 15 to 18. The words are reach, reach, arrive, arrive, get, get, approach, approach. For number 15, what time will we our destination? Can you guess the word here? Reach. Alright, number 16. The plane at Heathrow Airport at 8 p.m. last night. What do you think the word is? Yes, arrived. You use the word arrived, which is the past tense of arrived, because it states here that the plane arrived last night, so it already happened.
Question 17.
As you, the town, you'll see the castle on a hill. What do you think the word is? Yes, the word can be approach or are approaching or reach. And last but not least, question 18. It took us half an hour to our hotel. Correct. The word is get. Now, I hope you remember to do all of this into your grammar book. Alright, we are done for today's exercises both on grammar and vocabulary. Remember, number 1, complete your work. Number 2, snap a picture. And number 3, submit on Google Classroom. I will see you again on the next lesson. Thank you everyone. Bye-bye.